Hey guys, welcome to another WoW Weekly with Myst. And this week has been a pretty big week. There's been Shadowlands Alpha, there's some classic stuff coming up, and yeah, but all we have to say is Shadowlands Alpha. That has been the top news, and there has been a lot of new stuff being discovered through the alpha testing. And yeah, so that is going to be a big portion of our WoW Weekly. However, I did do some small little videos throughout the week in attempts to not make WoW Weekly super long. So that was kind of like the main purpose of those videos, so that I don't really talk too much of those specific things in this video. Okay, so as always, let's start with the weekly events. So this week we are going to have Noble Garden. It starts actually today, and it'll run from April 13th to April 19th. Lots of achievements you can get through there, and very easy. You can knock it all out in 1 year, so definitely it's an easy one to do. PvP Brawl Deep 6 will be going on this week, and then our weekly for BFA is the Battlegrounds. So, pretty mellow week. I like to do the Battleground weekly, but Noble Garden, I've had that all done for many years. And yeah, so, which is perfect, because I'm still trying to get my Volpera, right? And I guess that's a great place to move on to the next part of news. So the next part is my progression as far as the rep. Okay, so the Druid's rep is actually exactly the same as it was last week. That Revered was earned last week. I have not been out to Aldham or Vale at all this past week. I have been so dedicated to the Death Knight. Yeah, the Druid has been put to the side while the Dark Moon buff was going on. And very good chance she'll be put to the side for this week too, because the experience buff, it only has 1 week left. Okay, so now for the Death Knight. The Death Knight, I did amazing. I thought I did really good on the goal. Unfortunately, as you can see there, we're not exalted yet. But I was at the end of Honored when the week started. So I think that is really good. We finished off the rest of the Honored, got into Revered, and basically got, I don't know, roughly 60% of the way. So I think it's really good. Unfortunately, this would have actually been accomplished if I hadn't ran out of quests. Basically what happened is I had no quests anymore that they would hand me. And I'd done all the world quests, so yeah, I discovered that last night. And so that was kind of upsetting, but what are you gonna do, right? So yeah, I just don't know if a week is enough for having all the regular quests done and only focusing world quests. I'm hoping it is. I really want to have some like freebie levels on my Volpera. And yeah, so I'm hoping to have it knocked out by Wednesday. The reason I say Wednesday is because the next time the Valden Assault comes around is on Wednesday. So that's my best shot at this. The Valden Assault will give me the most all week. And so if I've done the math, and realistically, if I can just rack up like 4,000 roughly before Wednesday, then Wednesday should complete it. And yeah, and then I won't get much on as far as leveling, I'll only have a couple of days, and I'll tell you why I only have a couple of days with the Valpera. But it'll be at least something, as long as I can get a little time on the Valpera. Okay, so all in all, normally I would make a goal of the Battleground Weekly. But we are gonna skip that this week because it is the last week of the experience buff. It's been going on for a month. So the first week we did pretty much nothing with it. Second week I did a couple of days of leveling on my lock and got the lock from like 84 to 93 or something like that. And actually she was at 80 when I first started, to be honest. So 80 to 94. And then the third week, which was this past week, I did Dark Moon for the rep to try to get our vault in. So we're on the last week. So as you can see, I haven't really taken advantage fully of this experience buff, which is unfortunate because I know how good it is just off of leveling the lock. Okay, so on the topic of leveling, there is another character I am going to be leveling. I'll just show you here. This is my Dark Iron Dwarf Paladin. I created this character with a couple of friends / guildies, and we created this character like a year ago. And it's a character that we were leveling together for a while, and then we all kind of sidetracked to things like other things in WoW. And we haven't really leveled in a while. So the last stream I did, I suggested that we do, a couple of days of leveling before the buff ends. So that's what we're going to do. That's going to happen on Friday and Saturday. And by all means, if you want to come chit chat with us, it is going to be done on stream. So that's over at Twitch. Since I didn't mention it, I'll mention it right now. And that is that the experience buff does end on the 20th. So this is the last week for it. Definitely take advantage of it. It's a good buff. It's kind of unfortunate that I didn't take advantage of it, but honestly, we got it at a bad timing. I was hyped for Animal Crossing. That buff came out basically when Animal Crossing came out. So, yeah, obviously, I was barely in WoW. I was, sidetracking to Animal Crossing for a bit to give myself a little WoW break. And yeah, and that's why a good portion of it didn't get used, because it was just bad timing for it coming out. And yeah, I kind of wish it was more like the Friday the 13th buff, where it's just indefinite until until the world gets better, basically. It would be nice if they had that, because, we're all staying at home anyway, right? Okay, so on to news. As I said earlier, I have done some videos to make it so this video isn't too terribly long. So with that said, these are going to be just kind of quick notes I'm going to tell you that are coming back. So the first one is one I am really excited for, and it is the PvP vendors. They are making a return in Shadowlands, and that is fucking awesome. That is a great start, Blizzard, and something that shouldn't have ever been removed to begin with. So, yeah, that is honestly, to be perfectly honest, the best piece of news I've seen so far in Shadowlands out of all of the content that's been out there. Next up is we've had a little more info regarding the level squish and the item level squish. Here's a chart here. This is the comparison of levels. So you can see vanilla normally is 60. It will be 25 in Shadowlands. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but you can see the differences there. Also, here is one of the item level squish. And so you can see a huge difference with those ones. I still don't like this, guys. Like, I didn't like it at BlizzCon. I know the whole world fucking loves, well, the whole WoW gaming community loves the idea of a level squish. I just don't. I like leveling, and I like that it takes a while to level. That is actually, like, a pro in my mind. I like that it's can be tougher to have many alts. You know, I like that it takes work. You know, and I think it should take work. I think all in all, there should be pretty much a limited amount of people that can actually dedicate time to have many alts. I don't think it's something that, like, a casual player should be able to build up. So yeah, I still don't like this, but this is the chart, guys. For all of you guys out there that do like it. That is the chart. There's your numbers. Also, I'm going to add on top of it that the Demon Hunter and the Death Knight start at level 8. It was announced at BlizzCon that it was level 1, and they've changed their mind probably because people bitched, because that's what happens, and that's why all these changes exist in the first place, right? Honestly, if anything, BFA really showed me how much they babied the game down. And I say that because I'm like, out of my friend group, I am the WoW addict. My friends are the casual WoW players. And I've seen them come in, get great gear. One of them, who only plays on like a monthly basis, like once a month or something, has like started BFA with one character and has like 8 of them now, off of this one expansion. And yeah, so, you know, definitely it's one thing I hope for Shadowlands. You know, I know they want to do this item level squish and this level squish. Fine, do it, but please make the level, you know, a little difficult, you know, or at least more difficult than BFA was. I get that a lot of people in WoW want things to be handed to them and they want to have multiple characters with minimal effort, but I'm not that player. I want to level at a normal speed, you know, a normal leveling speed. And it sounds like it's going to be even worse in Shadowlands. Because from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's going to be even that much faster to level, even with the fucking level squish. I was under the understanding that they did this level squish because people were bitching that they had to level to 120, and I get that that's like an overwhelming number, but it's that much worse if you're gonna squish it down to 60 and then on top of that make it faster leveling than you know we're sitting at right now. And to be perfectly honest, BFA is already really fast leveling, so to make it faster than BFA is like, yeah, it's just becoming even more casual. And the thing is, and this is one thing that I feel like they don't even think of when they do this, but in my personal opinion anyway, leveling sometimes tends to be the thing you do when you run out of content in the game. Now, if the leveling's super fast, and you can level fast, they're gonna level all their characters really fast. And then the backup content that they would normally go to is done. You know? Like, yeah, I feel like making the leveling too fast is definitely going to put your numbers down, because for there's a lot of people that do end game and all that, but a lot of players want to level lobies, and at some point, like take me for example. I might have not taken a break to go to Animal Crossing if I didn't already have all these alts leveled. Granted, I always have them leveled every expansion, but it didn't take much to catch them up in anything, really, in BFA. BFA, like, people call it alt unfriendly. I call it alt friendly. Like, it was the easiest expansion I have ever encountered with my alts. I really don't understand why people are calling it alt unfriendly. I'm guessing it's because of the essences, which is very alt friendly right now. So, I don't know. I think it was one of the most alt-friendly expansions, to be honest. For me, the alt-unfriendly expansion was Legion. Legion had you so tied into your main character that it was tough to really do much on your alts. I think the only thing you really could accomplish on alts was, like, legendaries when they got easier to actually obtain. In all of my 15 years, even with games hyped that I have really wanted to play, I have never left WoW. They have always found a way to keep me interested. And yeah, so not even kidding, guys. This is the first break I have ever taken from WoW in 15 years. And the only reason that happened is because of how boring BFA is. Even with Animal Crossing, like, those that don't know, I played Animal Crossing 20 years ago. It's like a nostalgia. It's like going to play, classic WoW or something, right? It's a complete nostalgia for me. And so I was already hyped, but I felt safe that I could play it because I knew BFA sucked. It sucked in the beginning. I knew I was going to suck through the whole way. So I knew I could easily take a break. But I will tell you, the minute Alpha info released, I was so hyped I could barely even play Animal Crossing. So that's just a prime example of how easy WoW can actually get me, or get me back, even on games I adore, because I love Animal Crossing. It's a great game, but WoW obviously will always be the better one in my mind. If it wasn't, there's no way I would have left Animal Crossing 20 years ago, or 15 years ago, I guess, to come to World of Warcraft. And if there'd been any real competition there, I would have returned at some point, and I never did. Like, when I say this is a nostalgia over on Animal Crossing, I mean it. Like I'd never returned. And that is not at all anything bad on Animal Crossing. Like I said, it's a great game. It just doesn't suck you in like WoW can, Okay, so a slight sidetrack there, but we are getting back to the news. So next up. Now, on the topic of transmog and Mount Farmers, because I definitely was interested in this aspect with them changing things so much. And basically what they have said is that when you're 60, you can do that. So I imagine that's probably going to piss off some people, because there are some people that do run old content on characters that aren't max level. Right? But that's what I know of at the moment, is that from what they've, told us, you have to be level 60, because at level 60, you're able to run that kind of content, which allows you to go back into the old world. So it sounds like you're kind of stuck in Shadowlands until that part. Unless you haven't hit Shadowlands, of course. But from my understanding, you can't run it yet anyway. Like, you have to be 60 to open up that old world. Okay, so now for flying. I have found some info regarding the flight for Alpha. So basically, when you first log on to your character, you'll have apprentice riding, which is, you automatically get that. And then the journeyman riding, which is the 100% ground speed, it's learnt at 17. And then expert riding, which is the 150% flying speed, is learnt at 25. And then you'll get your artisan 280% flying speed at 27. And then you can get your final one, which is master riding 310% flying speed at your level 30. As far as the prices, they're pretty much like exactly what they are now. So the next part of news that I would like to share with you guys is something that I've actually been wanting them to do for a long time. I never thought they'd actually think of doing it, to be honest. But it is now that when you're in your character screen, if one of your alts has mail, you'll have a little envelope beside your name, like you see in this picture here. And so you automatically know that you have mail. If you hover over it, you can see where the mail's coming from. And yeah, I have been wanting a change like that, but I honestly always just thought it was like wishful thinking, something they just would never come up with, right? So it's cool that, might have taken 15 years, but yeah, better late than never, I guess, right? Okay, and that is basically it. There is, of course, other stuff, but I'm doing videos on those other things. So if you're interested in more Shadowlands stuff, definitely check out my content on the page. Currently, at the time of doing this video, there is a few videos up there. One goes over the class changes. They have timestamps in them, so you can just skip to your particular class. And another is some of the mounts that are going to be available. And then another is some transmogs. I've got a couple more coming up soon that have to do more with like the systems that are in play for Shadowlands. And I'll be working on those this week. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy the content. I know it's been a little crazy with Animal Crossing. I feel like we're caught up now. So I am done bombarding you guys with Animal Crossing content. And of course you can just ignore it. You're here for WoW, right? You may still see like a video here and there, but it's going to be on special occasion, like when a holiday happens or, maybe a new construction in the game happens. It's not going to be so regular anymore. So probably like a couple a month or something. And yeah, there will be some Luigi's Mansion going up there, but other than that. Okay, so I do have one more piece of info. Has to do with Classic. And that is that Zul'Gurub and the Green Dragons is going to unlock this week. It will be on Wednesday, April 15th. And which is odd. Everything's usually Tuesday, but yeah, it will unlock at 3 p.m. Pacific. And And yeah, so I hope you have fun in that. I'm gonna leave a link in the description of this video for you guys that maybe want to, find some strategies or loot tables or whatever for that stuff. I'll have a Wowhead link for you guys in the description. Okay, so that is pretty much it for today's video. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, just to recap a bit, the goals that I have set for myself for this week is the Valpera rep, try to knock out that last 6,000, and hopefully make a Valpera before it ends, even if we only get to level on the Sunday before. Just anything. I just wanted to get some freebie levels on that Valpera. And that is basically the only focus. I do have a friend of mine, well, a couple, but I don't think one of them's going to be joining us. But a friend of mine, we had started leveling Dark Iron Dwarfs together. So we're going to do that on Friday and Saturday. I will be streaming that over on Twitch, so feel free to come join us. You can join the group if you want. We're just going to level, so it doesn't really matter how many people want to join the group. I prefer to level than dungeons, so. And yeah, or just come over to chit chat and see what we're up to. Twitch/Myst of Darkness for those of you that aren't part of it. And yeah, those are basically the goals. It's all dedicated to the leveling because this is the final week for the leveling perk. As for my thoughts on Shadowlands so far, it's pretty early. So these are definitely early thoughts. There's a lot that can change. It's, very early stages of testing. And basically 50-50 to me. There's stuff I think's amazing and stuff that I don't. I don't think I'll ever be happy with the level squish. And I'll never be happy with the item level squish. How do I know that? Because I still haven't gone over the item level squish they did to us in Legion. I have hated looking at my item level all of BFA. Because all I think is, this looks familiar. I've been this item level before. So, yeah, those are just things I'm never gonna like them, but it's not the first thing in an expansion that I haven't liked before. There's been many in the past, a lot of them having to do with Blizzard destroying my druid. So I'm used to it. I've learned to adapt to it. I've learned to expect a very little out of them. And I make the game my own, basically. So when they fuck it up, I go to old expansion areas I enjoyed playing, and I do stuff out there. The other negative to me is the Covenant system, which is something I have mentioned in the past that I didn't like. BlizzCon 2019 was actually my first BlizzCon I went to for many reasons. The biggest reason I wanted to go was not only because I had been playing the game for 15 years and not been to a BlizzCon. It was more that I was unsure if we would ever see another one again. BFA was so bad and is so bad that it was the first time in 15 years that I thought my game might actually die. So I wanted to make sure that I got that experience before anything else happened in the World of Warcraft. Or when I was there, as soon as I saw the Covenant system go up on screen, I instantly did not like it. I think it looks beautiful, but that's it. It just looks beautiful. When you start reading into what's involved in that Covenant system, it's just another grind. Yeah, another boring grind. So not too fond of that, and I haven't been for a while, and Shadowlands Alpha certainly hasn't made me more fond. If anything, from what I've seen of it, it has made me dislike it even that much more. So I hope they definitely take players, take the players' reports seriously and make changes to, if we're gonna be stuck with the Covenant system, make it good. I just honestly have a bad feeling of this, and I've only ever had one bad feeling in my years of playing this game, and that was when I played BFA Alpha and told Stream that this was gonna be the worst expansion ever. So, and the fact that that became true makes me very worried of the Covenant system. So I do hope that they aren't just saying they're looking for input. I hope they actually listen to the input that WoW players have to say on the Covenant system. As far as things I do like, there is actually a lot of good stuff I've seen. There's some people we haven't seen in a long time making a return. I don't want to spoil anything, so I'll just leave it at that. And there's the PvP system. Well, the PvP vendors coming back. The class changes have a lot of things we've missed over the years. One big one that, if any of you guys play Paladins, you might have missed is the auras. And the two-hand frost for the Death Knights. There's also a lot of new mounts, new transmogs. I've done videos on those, so you can check them out. I will have more coming up too, for more transmogs and mounts as they're discovered. There's also been quite a bit of new character customization for Shadowlands. I'm not going to go over all of it because it is quite a bit. I am going to make a video on it this week and we can go over it all. But here's a couple. I targeted characters that I know some of my main viewers play. And that is pretty much it for this video, so I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're enjoying the alpha updates and whatever you're doing in game, whether it's leveling or if you got into the alpha or maybe you're just playing another game. Whatever it is, I hope you're having fun, and we'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye!